Okay, so we're setting up part two here. In the first part, we went through the real basics and just got it online. Now, remember, we wanted to unlist this now. It used to be called snooze, which was a lot easier to just call it snooze, but now you unlist it with dates or you permanently unlist it. So I've unlisted this until the 30th of September. Now, remember, guys, this is just a made up one. It's not a real listing. I've just done this purely and simply to help people because I couldn't find anything directly online. So remember, if you want to contact me, it's hostit.net.au. Okay. So it's my website is hostit.net.au, and through there you can find my ambassador link to help you for free if you're brand new to hosting. I am more than happy to help you through that program, which Airbnb have me as an ambassador. I don't work directly for Airbnb, but I am an assigned ambassador for them to help you with setting up online as well. So I can do that. But so we've done the really basics, all right. And then we want to get into things. Now, I did go through in one of my videos about the basics that I want you to get to. So you've done your title, you've done your type of property. This is an entire place because it is, even though it is a granny flat, it's still an entire place because it has a whole separate entry. It's got its own little kitchenette. It's got its own bathroom. It's completely separate to my house. Okay, so it's a self-contained unit. Pricing, I'll get into a little bit more again. Availability, all that. We go through the calendar to do that. Number of guests, we set that at 2. Of course, that can be 8, 10, 12, up to 16, depending on the size of your property. Okay, and remember we went through description. Now, the description is your small 500 characters that you are limited to. Then your property, this is where I want you to go in and type as much as you're not. You're not as limited on characters here. So really explain what your property is all about. Do lounge room, smart TV, whatever, kitchenette or kitchen or, fully equipped kitchen, what you have, dishwasher, microwave, crockery, cutlery, pots, pans, everything you need for your beautiful big family to enjoy together. So whatever it is that you have, go into detail here. Kind of dot point what you've got. Guys like dot points and ladies like the word. So you've got to have a bit of a combination of the two. This is just a really, sorry guys, I'm still getting over my cold. Now, guest access. Okay, so will be via key safe and code sent to you in detailed check-in message. All right, that's what I'm going to put there. Going back to description again. So we want to get into guest access. I've done interactions with guests. Now, how are you going to interact with your guests? There used to be different things as options, which they don't have now. So I say, I am if needed, however, I leave guests to their homes. Okay, I love the fact that it'll spell check because I can't type. Mine merely needs more type check than anything. So terrible typist. So you can do whatever here. It depends again if you've got a private house. I mean, a private room in your house, or if you've got a granny flat, or we live 2 blocks away, or something like that. So it really depends on the situation for the house. We're only a phone call away. It can be whatever it is for you. Okay, because every property is different. I've got everything, from private rooms to granny flats to 5-bedroom homes that, or properties that I live 3 hours away from, but I've got a caretaker on the ground in the area. My cleaners act as caretakers. So it can be whatever is your interaction with the guests. It could be we love to sit and enjoy time with our guests in the lounge room and happy to watch a movie with you or talk about your travels or whatever. If you've got a private room in the house and you want to interact with your guests or not interact with your guests. So, you might have happy hour every day at 5 o'clock on your back veranda. I don't know what your guest interaction is going to be. Other things to note, it could be everything from, again, you might want to say this one here that, you have a shared yard with your dogs, or you've got a full-time tenant that lives upstairs in the house. I've got a granny flat that I rent out and I've got a full-time tenant in the main house. Or it could be that, bins go out on on a Thursday or a Tuesday or whatever, any other little things to note, or there's construction going on 3 houses down, we're sorry, but there might be noise on certain times of the day, any and of the week. So anything like that can go in there. All right. Accessibility features. Now, be very careful with accessibility, okay? Because accessibility really is true wheelchair access. So don't just because you've got a low set home, I'm talking wide hallways, Class B bathrooms that are proper accessible wheelchair bathrooms. And you don't want someone coming to your house that believes that you've got an accessible house, and if they're in a wheelchair, if they're not, you must have wider doorways, you've got to have wider hallways, you've got to have specific bathrooms. Bench heights in kitchens aren't as big a deal. It's just that I do have friends that are in wheelchairs. They're amazing athletes and everything as well, but they do have some special requirements because they've got to get their wheelchairs down and through rooms and doorways and things like that. Now, I did quickly go through amenities as well. Make sure you go through all your amenities. 20s there is nothing. You've got to go through here and add. And I just go through all. And I literally just go through and add all the amenities. Tick every single thing that you have. Okay, it will come down to body soap, books and reading material. Yes, I have those. You know, I have a free library in all my properties. I'm not going to do breakfast. Yes, I've got ceiling fans. This can take you a while, okay? Cleaning available during the stay. You might want to say yes to that, and you do it every week if you've got longer stays or things like that. Clothing storage. Yes, I do have that. And ask you. So I do have a closet. I've got a dresser. Wardrobes, sort of similar. Remember, a lot of this is American terminologies. So you go through and tick as many amenities as you can. Please tick as many as you can. You should easily get to 50, and that's in just even a small granny flat. So backyard, open space. I might want to go in and actually edit that backyard. It's a public or shared. It is fully fenced. Private, but have I got an area to write something there? It's not in private, public or shared. It's not giving me open space, usually grassed. Okay, I thought they might be able to put a description in there, but you can't now. Okay, sorry guys, these are all updates from yes, May. They do updates in May and November. Okay. Co-host, you can invite a friend to co-host. Now remember, I have instant book off. I do like to have instant book off, guys, because while you're learning, because you may not have your calendar up to date, you may not have your pricing up to date. There's lots of things. You may not have set minimums of 3 nights for your long weekends, for your Easters and things like that. You don't know yet really pricing maybe. And if you've got your calendar open for instant booking, it could be a time that you can't take a booking or you haven't adjusted your prices or things like that. So I really do like the idea of having instant book off while you're learning. House rules. All right. So are pets allowed in this particular property? Yes, I'm going to have pets. Or you don't have pets. It's really up to you. Events are allowed. No vaping, no e-cigarettes. And I've set my quiet hours. Commercial photography. Now, this is a big thing these days. A lot of people do have some amazing homes, and they actually make a lot of money from influencers and things like that, where they do allow commercial filming and things like that. I'm not going to at this particular imaginary property, but you can, and you can actually make very good money from that as well. Check-in and check-out times. I've got my quiet hours there. Check-in times, I'm going to have, say, the regular things would be normal is 2. I am flexible. I let people, message me, or I let them know when my cleaners are done, and check-out is generally 10. Again, I'm flexible with all those things, and I let my guests know that we'll let them know when, property is available, when the cleaners are finished. Now, when it comes down here to additional rules, I have a lot. Mine are like the terms and conditions of buying something from Apple, I joke about all the time. So in there, I have a really long, I could copy and paste, I often copy and paste from other properties that are similar, but no guests of guests, no smoking, no parties, no, yeah, blah, blah, the usual. Excess cleaning, if the property requires excess cleaning, all that sort of stuff. All that goes into your additional rules, and that can go for a long, long, long time. Okay, so don't stress over that. It can be really long. Oh, I didn't pause. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I think I'm back still. So you filled in your rules, and then you come back over here. Guest safety. It is really important that you do put in any uh, safety requirements, as in not fit for children. So you go, not a good fit for children. Okay, there. So it's not a good fit. So you make sure you read that, and then you explain why. You say no safety, no childproofing. My keyboard is playing up. This is not me, child. Proofing on top. I think my keyboard could be needing some new batteries. So I may not be filling a lot of these in with you, but you get the thing. Do you cater for not a good fit for infants, or you do? Obviously, if you are family friendly, please make sure you tick all the amenities for kids, and you will attract the families. Okay, that's what I was saying with the amenities. The more amenities you have, the more of those types of people that you're going to be attracting. You must have all these things. If you does the pool or the hot tub have a gate? Like if I'm thinking of my property here, yes, it does. Are you a nearby lake or body of water? No. Oh, actually, I am, but it's out my back gate. So I might go in there and go, yes, beyond the fencing, we do have dams and things like that in this area. If I'm thinking of this particular property, climbing play structures, no. Heights and railings and protections, yes, are these heights and railings? Without rails or protections, no, they do have proper rails. And then dangerous animals on the properties, no, I don't know. Potentially dangerous, no. Okay. And then there as well, there should be the security devices. Yeah, I knew there was one there. So safety devices. So have you got external security cameras? Yes. Front entry, external only. You cannot have internal security cameras. All right. So just go along and fill in as much as you can. All right, back up the top again. You're scrolling all the way back up. You filled in all those things. We go to arrival guide. All right. So you've got your check-in windows and all that sort of stuff. The details. It's honestly, please go down. Okay, I've got one of them is park in right hand drive way, and key safe is at front door code 123. Okay, and you do that. These things are not given to guests until 48 hours prior to check-in anyway, and only confirmed guests, so don't worry about that. So if you've got details, like I've got people I've worked with before have had they've got units above shops in the main street of town. So please go to the such and such a store, the small alleyway to the right of that store, and go down there. Halfway along, you'll see a door. Go up that door, key safe, blah, blah, blah. So if it's complex, please explain. Like I've got ones that park in the left-hand driveway and enter via a blue door or whatever it is, okay? So here we're going to, smart locks are the way to go. If you can get smart locks or keypads, that's the way to go. Honestly, I just have properties that don't have that, key safe code, okay, or building staff or whatever it is, okay, then Wi-Fi details, it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? And house manual. And in your house manual, it's where you can put the day the bins go out and things like that. Look, I love to have a welcome book. I have talked about welcome books. You'll see that in my videos called my 3 favorite books. And of course, my beautiful friend Bree. Again, if you contact me, Sue, through my hostit.net.au, I can put you in contact with Bree, who has beautiful templates for welcome books if you're good with Canva. So have a house manual as well with your basic information. So, you know, bins out Sunday night. Bins, bobs, bins go out Sunday night, early Monday morning, or wherever the bins are, or the bin chute, or whatever. Okay, you can have whatever you want in your house manual. Okay, whatever you think is going to be informative for the guests. Checkout instructions are important as well. So you add your checkout instructions. Gather towels. Yes, please. Like these are all the basic ones. Place in laundry. On bathroom floor. Now, why I do that is because I don't want the towels left on the bed, and that's the only reason. It's honestly the only reason. I don't want them to have a shower, get ready to go, and then they drop their towels on the bathroom floor. I mean, on the bed, and then you've got a wet bed situation. Turn things off. Please turn off lights and air. It's pretty simple, isn't it? These I would do, and I'll talk about messaging at some stage as well. These things are also included in a checkout message. Throw rubbish away. Place rubbish in external bins, wherever your external bins are. You know, I've got some properties and buildings, like you might have a rubbish chute, or you might have the bins are in the guest garage area down the hallway, such and such and such and such. Lock up, obviously, close doors, lock windows and doors. Got an N in there, which I don't need. Like I said, terrible typist. I'm doing this very quickly for you guys. You get return keys. Yes, return keys. 2 key safe and in code. Like I said, you do this in a checkout message as well. The day before guests check out, I send them a very polite, thank you very much for staying. And then additional requests here if you've got anything that's different that you need to add to that. Okay, now I'm back to the beginning again here. So we've done most of our spaces, everything down here that we needed to do. We've done our arrival guides. That's great. We go over to these little things. We go, what are these things here? Okay, that's where we can get our status again. As you know, it's unlisted. Guest requirements. Okay, now these ones are interesting here. Your guest requirements. This is if you want them. I want them to have photo ID. So I don't want anybody to not be able to do it without a required profile photo. But I also have instant book off. Okay, if you had instant book on, you would go on and have even more requirements. So we go and we set that. Then I'm going to jump onto the calendar. Hang on 1 second. Something that you might want to know. So your local laws, if you have certain local laws, this is more actually based in the US and I think in New Zealand as well. I don't want to remove my listing. I've worked on this now. Taxes and things like that, that's coming. Victorians will have to be watching out for this because this is where Airbnb collect and remit the occupancy taxes that will be coming into Victoria, I think in 2025 or something like that. Local laws and things like that, that's where your New South Wales will have to go into that there. Okay, so your local laws, that's where you'll have to put your SCRA number and things like that. Okay, so where I am here, I don't have to worry about those sorts of things, and I don't want to get it too complicated. If you are from New South Wales and you do need help for that, again, just reach out to me and I'll be able to help you with that. And once the Victorian laws and things like that come in, we will have to be remitting taxes. Well, Airbnb will remit taxes on behalf of hosts. Okay, this is more an American thing and an overseas thing than an Australian thing currently. Okay, so I've simply jumped onto the calendar now. Okay, so I've gone onto calendar and I've gone into my listing into my calendar. I did do this the other day as well. So I'm going to do it really, really quickly. So we've got our base pricing here. I've decided on this. You can do customized weekend pricing as well. But if you do that, you can't have your smart pricing on. So you've got to work out whether you're going to have your smart pricing on or your smart pricing off. Okay. And then you set your minimum and then you set your maximum. Okay. Discounts. Now, remember your discounts. I start low. I don't go too high to begin with because Airbnb will suggest that you should have this 49%. Now, it's not a matter of if you ever get a month-long booking, it's a when you get a month-long booking. Okay, so I got stung by that. I gave away 49% for my first. I'd always been booked out. Full. It was fantastic. And then I got this booking for a month, and I'm like, oh my God, how fantastic. I've got this month-long booking. Yay. And then I saw how much I was earning, and I'm like, oh my God, really? So if you've got really high occupancy already, why would you give away a huge discount? And I prefer to have the property turning over, which means the cleaners are in weekly anyway, weekly or twice a week, or sometimes 3 times a week, depending on how many turnovers I have. So also, if I do have a longer booking, I do send my cleaners in once a week just to do a linen change and a bit of a tidy up and a clean the bathrooms and stuff like that for multiple reasons. Now, complexity is the enemy of execution. So please, you can get into more discounts. You can do trip length stays. You can do early bird, last minute discounts. Please do this later. This is a much more advanced thing. Don't worry about it now. Not if you're new. This is when you can start to set those things up once you're new. Okay. I do like that 20%. As you know, I've taken that 20% discount for the first 3 bookings. We've been through that in the other lessons. And you'll add your cleaning fees here. Okay. I don't have a short stay clean because I pay cleaners. It doesn't matter if you've been there 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, or a week. I still have to pay my cleaners the same amount. So my cleaning fee is X. All right. And I purely submit, look, I've had anything from cleaning fees from $50 for a tiny little flat all the way up to $400 for a large 5-bedroom home. Okay. And then you've got your pet fees and all the other fees, which I've been through. All these additional fees here, please don't overcomplicate it again. Complexity is the enemy of execution, and you can start to outprice yourself by the time people see all these fees coming in for what they don't understand. Okay. So just keep it really, really simple. And with your discounts, you will play with those as you go along. So if you're happy with your calendar, don't forget, I did show you in the other lesson about setting your minimum night stays for, for Christmas and Easter. You might want to have 3 night minimums at least over Easter and stuff like that. I've got that in my calendar lesson, but you should be ready to go. Okay. Once you've filled in all those details and you're happy with that, you go back into your listing and you relist. It's really simple. You go from unlist on one side to relist, and you are ready to rock and roll. So I hope that's really helped you guys set up online, because Airbnb do change things. And this is probably one of the biggest changes they've had in quite some time. All right. So happy hosting, everybody. And if you need me, just reach out to me at my website, hostit.net.au.